Good day, ka-educados! Today, we were going to talk and let you know about transfer of learning. By the way, this is Doquit, together with my partner, Syra Ogabang from BSed Sciences 3B. So now, let's proceed with proper discussion. What is transfer of learning? It is the ability to apply knowledge learned from one context to new context. Means the use of previously acquired knowledge and skills in new learning or problem-solving situations. So this transfer of learning occurs when learner recognize common features among concepts, skills, or principles. Transfer implies that what is learned in one situation can be shifted directly to another situation only when similarity in content, method, or attitude of the two situations is perceived by the learner. Now, let's proceed with positive versus negative transfer. Positive transfer. It occurs when learning in one context improves performance in some other context. In other terms, when performance of a task improves as a result of performing a different but related task. There is improvement of knowledge through gain of additional information or education. Then, negative transfer. It occurs when learning in one context has a negative impact on performance in the other context. Just like solving an earlier problem, makes later problems harder to solve. Then now, let's tackle near versus far transfer. Near transfer. It is a transfer between similar contexts. Say for example, a student took first MATLAB course in college and relied on his or her previous high school experiences of programming in Pascal. Next, far transfer. It is a transfer between contexts that seem unfamiliar to one another. Say for example, a student learned to do clean and jerks in his weightlifting class and relied on his knowledge of vector from geometry to visualize where the barbell should go. Now let's proceed with 3 factors that affect transfer of learning. First, instructional design factors. Second, learner factors. And third, external factors. Now let's begin with instructional design factors. Good design encourages learners to interact with the material, come up with their own ideas, and apply what they're learning within the learning environment, instead of just waiting for learning to be over and then trying out the new information on the job. Next is learner factors. Self-efficiency. It talks on how capable do learners feel. To combat low capability from learners, you can incorporate more background information and relevant lessons to both teach and raise confidence. Motivation. It is the key to encourage retention of knowledge. It is also important to remember it well enough to apply it to other jobs. Barrier to effective learner. Learner can be demotivated and fail to transfer due to a variety of reasons, including inefficient support from coworkers and superiors, difficulties with the work itself, time constraints, and outdated or otherwise inferior equipment. Personal, time, and stress factors. Often underestimated as a cause of ineffective transfer. Personal difficulties can make it very difficult to accomplish this. You and your learners all have limited energy, time, and mental capacity, which hinders your ability to teach effectively and their ability to retain and transfer information. Then the last factor that affects transfer of learning is external factors. Despite being one of the most significant factors in the transfer, A learning working environment is often ignored as a factor. Given resources, your learners will remember content back at their work by being given opportunities to apply what they've learned and also the proper equipment to do this with. Support from higher-ups. Transfer can also be facilitated and hindered by the involvement of facilitator. If teacher takes the course seriously and lends support, then students are more likely to retain and transfer the knowledge. A plan of action. Having an outline of steps that learners and facilitators must take also helps transfer and helps maintain focus. This plan includes goals along with strategies for reaching those goals and required equipment and resources. Positive support from peers. Adequate support from peers, including feedback from the group, is important to reinforce the importance of the training and encouraging transfer. External encouragement. This leads to question: is the learner's work environment support training initiatives? This factor includes peer and manager support along with whether or not a learner is being given the opportunity to use new skills without repercussions. Company culture or resistance to change. If your learners are used to a culture where group norms dictate that training won't be taken seriously, then it will be even harder to successfully transfer. Now let's proceed with the last discussion, the 6 theories of the transfer of learning. First, mental discipline. This theory came to existence in the 20th century. It is philosophical in nature. Mind is the central position which is composed of several facilities. In this theory, bright students learn better than that of slow learners because memorization is more faster in length students, whereas slow learners.
Second, identical discipline.
It was developed by E.L. Thorndike. It goes from one learning situation to other situation. Two identical factors or activities are common factor transferred to total situation where maximum transfer of learning or total learning can be taken place. It goes from matter to mind. Third, generalization. This theory is developed by C. Jude. In this theory, transfer of learning takes place primarily through generalization, and degree of transfer depends upon the extent to which experience in the first situation are understood and consolidated into generalization. Fourth, transposition. It is advocated by Jesuit psychology. Transfers start in understanding the fact and perception of similarity by the learner. It is known as pattern of relationship since its understanding relationship between facts, phrases, and principles are the real basis of transfer. Fifth, ideals. It was propounded by W.C. Bagley. When ideas are stressed and free used, then transfer of learning can be taken place. These ideas like honesty, truthfulness, love, etc. can be transferred in this theory. Last but not least, learning to learn. In this theory, learners learn the capacity to learn the same thing after practicing a series of related or similar tasks. It is found that wherever learners come in contact with various learning materials, he or she learns efficiently
and effectively.
Learning to learn means when learning starts from one method, then it goes to another method. That would be all. Thank you and God bless us all.